Hi and welcome to this Champions League podcast. This podcast is a part of Popecast Sport. I'm Oscar and I'm here with my co-host as usual.
Hi, I'm Daniel, and we're here today to talk about the second leg of the semi-finals upcoming this week. But we're going to start off with talking what happened in last week's first leg. And we're going to start off with Tuesday's game of Tottenham versus Ajax. Now, Ajax did come out 1-0 winners in this game after a 15th-minute goal of Donny van de Beek. And I would say Tottenham is going to be lucky getting away with just a 1-0 win. 1-0 loss, sorry. Ajax had Donny van de Beek's goal in the 15th minute. He had another chance in like the 25th, and then David Neres had the chance in the second half where he hits the post. And Lloris is he's not nowhere near. If it went post in, it would have been a goal. So could have been way worse. Yeah. So I think Tottenham will actually be happy about this.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like I said in the last episode, this is Ajax's chance to win this double match series. Because Tottenham was missing some key, really, really big key players like Son and Kane and a lot of guys. And they had their chance here. In one way, I'm a little bit worried because they only got 1-0 away from it. But the injuries hasn't gotten much greater in my opinion. So yeah, but more of that later. But still, this was their chance to pull away from Tottenham. Ajax is really good on away soil this Champions League. They have been beating the big teams on their away matches.
I agree. And I said, we thought coming into this game, I thought that Ajax was going to win 2-1. You thought that they were going to win 3-1. And, well, first of all, we both thought Tottenham would score. Maybe a Llorente, maybe a Dele Alli, I remember us talking about, but that didn't happen. They could have scored 3, I said, but yeah, that one, of course, they won. But I said, Son is back for this next game. He's no longer suspended. And yeah, I think Ajax going to be in for one hell of a ride.
Yeah, I was actually betting Vertonghen score for Tottenham last match, but unlucky enough for him, he was substituted after a head injury. In what was it? Minute 34, if I'm not...
Yeah, I think the substitute went through in minute 39, but I think the injury happened in 34, 35, something about that. Coming off for the corner, he headed into the back of Timo Alderweireld and got a nasty gash along his, I believe it was nose, but he was lying there for quite a bit, and they walked him off the field, and they talked about him returning, and he actually returned on the field for a short amount of time, but 30 seconds after restarting, he just signaled to the bench and walking off the field. Like, we need to substitute. And as he went off, you can see on the TV screens, he was badly wobbling, and it seemed like he was really losing his balance and everything. So
yeah, he looked like
I thought live that he had some because of all the loss of blood, some kind of loss of blood, really. Like the blood was not flowing as it should. But yeah, he's still gone with a head injury. So
yeah, I was comparing him live with a boxer who had gone a full fight, like been knocked out.
Yeah. And for Tottenham's sake, it was sad to lose Vertonghen in so early, but funny enough, they became way better, way more competitive after a substitution. Because before they played with the 5 at the back, 3 centre backs, and just very defensive, and Ajax just sort of running all over them. They had no offense, and they couldn't stop Ajax from just rolling the ball around. And Sissoko came on for Vertonghen. Sissoko, which we didn't think actually would be ready for this game, but he was. And yeah, he changed the game for the better for Tottenham, but yeah, not enough since it's still lost, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think Tottenham should be really lucky that they got away with this injury bench, with all the things that happened in this match. They still got away with only losing with 1 goal.
Yeah.
Because that injury list was massive before the match.
Yeah, they still have a way in this. Yeah. 2-0 down, 3-0 down even, it was a possibility. way worse. But right now they still have a very clear way back into the game.
Yeah, exactly. Like they only allowed one away goal, so a lot of results would actually go their way if it happens. If Tottenham only wins with one goal, then most of the results would go their way. If this becomes a high-scoring affair.
Exactly.
Yeah, Ajax really needs to keep them Tottenham away from goal. It will be hard now with Son, because Son was great against Manchester City when he played. Yeah, it was a really interesting match, but in my opinion, maybe Ajax should have put some more balls into the net in the beginning there, when when everything was going their way, because they were so dangerous. Yeah, Tottenham was really being pushed back into their own penalty area there for a while.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the second game, the Wednesday's game between Barcelona and Liverpool. Now, look, coming in, I thought a 2-2 draw was on the card. You thought a 2-1 win for Barcelona. It ended up as a 3-0 win. And looking at the game, they didn't quite deserve the 3-0 win. They were playing well, but so was Liverpool. I actually think the 2-1 result, which you predicted, would actually be a fair result, judged by the game. But yeah, didn't happen.
Because if you look at the game, like the whole game, if you look at everything, this was a really unfair result. Like I agree with you with 2-1. But if you look at all the action in the penalty area, I could agree with this. In one way, because Liverpool wasn't dangerous at all in there. Especially not if you look at the situation. Who was the first shooter? In that situation that really went bad for Liverpool.
I don't actually remember. I just remember Salah.
Salah like burned almost an open goal there, straight in the post.
Yeah. Right after 3-0 down, they had an excellent chance to at least get an away goal.
Yeah.
And Salah standing unmarked, ball rolling or bouncing towards him. Half the net is completely open. All he has to do is place it on his right foot, and it's a goal. And it hits the post.
Yeah. So, like, if you count the whole field, this is unfair, really unfair. But if you count the penalty area, okay, maybe this scored. Maybe.
Yeah.
But the highlight, in my opinion, is in this match was the 3-0 goal from Lionel Messi's free kick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, amazing.
One of the best free kicks I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And it was fun. We before watching these games through the quarterfinal, through the round of 16, we haven't been able to see the same games. We've seen different games that we talked about them between ourselves before we started recording. But now we could actually see the same game, and we were sitting in this chat program talking with each other, and right when they stepped up for that free kick, I just texted like, "Yeah, Messi 3-0 right here," and just even I couldn't imagine going it like that's such a good free kick. And I actually heard some people actually being angry on Alisson for not stopping it, but I don't think there's such a way as stopping that shot.
Maybe with 2 or 3 Alissons.
Yeah, maybe then.
Yeah, or maybe with a guy like 220 or something, like a defender guarding the post. Maybe then.
Yeah. But with Alisson's starting position, like as the goal was right there, I don't think a single goalie in the world would have been able to save that free kick. So
he has to stand in this exactly place to stop it, like to reach that at all. He could stand with his arms straight up in the exact right position. That's the only way.
Yeah, pretty much.
But why would Alisson stand out there like that?
Yeah, if he did, Messi wouldn't be shooting there. So
exactly.
So yeah, and to make it even more special, that was actually Lionel Messi's 600th goal overall, I believe, in his career.
I've actually think it's just Barcelona.
Oh, wow. That's even better.
Yeah. I don't know how many goals he did before he moved to Barcelona, but I don't think they count them even because he was so young. I think
Yeah, exactly. What was he, like 14?
That was
I think it was 14 when he joined.
he's actually
He went to Barcelona.
in a trivia thing here. Maybe you care, maybe you don't. But he's one of the reasons behind the rule for signing youngsters, like that rule that is today, that you can't sign in that way anymore.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah, he was probably the first big one player that they signed maybe a little bit too young.
Yeah, like it's controversial. I agree with that. I see some pointers in both ways that I can agree with, but yeah, it's controversial to sign like a 14-year-old in that manner. But yeah, he has had an amazing career, and I don't doubt for a second that he will do a lot of more amazing goals in the future.
Oh, definitely. Maybe even this upcoming Tuesday. But
yeah. Liverpool doesn't want that, but it could happen.
Yeah. So with that, let's move on to those games, shall we?
Yeah.
Moving on to Tuesday's game, second leg, Liverpool versus Barcelona.
Yeah.
Now we're going to start off looking at the current injury woes for the two teams. And I'm going to start with Liverpool, and they have 4 players right now on the injury list. 3 of them has a chance to maybe be ready for the game. They're still on the list, and they might be ready, might not. And that's Roberto Firmino, which out with a muscle injury. Adam Lallana with a muscle injury as well. He's been out for quite a while now. And Mohamed Salah with a head injury, which he actually suffered in this weekend's Premier League game. And yeah, if they would lose those 3 players and if weren't be able to be back, that would be a very weakened Liverpool. So let's hope for them, their sake, that they're actually back. Yeah, then the 4th injury is Naby Keita with a groin injury, which he sustained in the first leg against Barcelona, and he's sadly out for the rest of the season. It took really badly, and like watching the game live, I didn't think it took that badly. I thought it was just, yeah, it hurt definitely, but I didn't think it would take that bad as it sadly took. So, but yeah, they're gonna have to deal without Keita for the rest of the season now.
Yeah, and moving on to the away team, Barcelona, we have Ousmane Dembele out with a hamstring injury, unknown time, and Luis Suarez with a knock. And that right now says May the 6th, but you never know with those estimates. That's the 2 big injuries, and we have Rafinha that is out for the rest of the season also. But he has been gone for a while now, so I don't think they're counting on him. But yeah, if I compare the benches just fast, it looks way worse for Liverpool. Like, this would be hard even if they have 2-0 up against Barcelona. With that injury list. If these guys stay away from the match.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to replace Mohamed Salah and Keita? And Firmino?
Yeah.
Like, that's the reserves for that position also in one way.
Yeah, we have Origi, perhaps.
Yeah.
In one of the positions.
What about...
We have Sturridge.
Yeah.
I guess, but I mean, not good enough. I would say neither of them. Maybe
to be a little bit funny, but I think it could work in one way. We always have the Englishman, what is his name now again? Sorry, I just dropped the name here.
Milner?
Yeah, put him on the side there.
Yeah. Well, actually, I forgot about Shaqiri.
Oh, actually, yeah, that could work. But yeah, we have a few, but no one in that, like, that great, I think. Okay, maybe they will have an amazing match. That could happen. But if you count a whole season,
yeah,
we have no one to replace with. If it turns out to be this bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we take the prediction part of that match, Could you start then?
Sure thing. My prediction for this game is a 2-0 win to Barcelona.
Wow.
Liverpool had hard enough scoring in last game at the Camp Nou. And playing with the thought of no Firmino and absolutely no Salah, which I think Salah is further away from being able to play than Firmino is. I would say that's my guesstimate, so to say. I would say, yeah, it's going to be very hard to score again. And I think, yeah, Barcelona are just too good. They're going to find a way through just like they did in Barcelona. Yeah, not looking good for them, according to me.
And this is pretty funny. I'm going with 2-0 for Barcelona also. Just because of the injuries. So I'm not counting with everyone there returning. In best case scenario, Firmino, Lallana and Salah could return. But now comes the question. Are they fit enough to play the whole game in that case?
Yeah, that is also a thing.
Yeah, it depends on Salah. What kind of head injury is it? Was it like how big of a knock was this? Like on the head?
Exactly.
Like, is it one of those they took him off because of, like, they wanted to save him when he got a knock? Like, we need to save him for the Champions League because we're worried? Or is this he absolutely needs to get off the field?
Yeah.
That will be depending on that in his case, I think. And Firmino, hasn't he tried to get back?
Yeah, he was injured coming into the first game against Barcelona as well, and he got substituted in right before Barcelona's 3-0 goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, he didn't create that much in the final parts of the game. I don't know if he was still struggling for fitness or maybe he wasn't even fully back at the time. I don't know if he just didn't get a good run in. But yeah.
Yeah, and
if that's the Firmino we can expect to see from the start, I don't know how much he can do even if he's.
Yeah, and he wasn't even on the bench for the Premier League match this weekend, so he was checked.
Oh, well, that does not seem good.
No. And Lallana.
Hopefully, just the safety to save him, and he could have been on the bench, but I don't know. I don't know if Klopp is one to park. So still, because the Premier League Premier League race is still on.
Yeah.
Unlike Barcelona, which have won the league. I was correct last week. I wasn't sure back then, but yeah, they had won the league. I don't think they can afford to rest players that can play if they can play. So, yeah.
So I'm doubting that any of those guys will be back. And Lallana, I don't think he will get a chance to play. Will be the first choice anyway, in one way.
No,
he's the one with if you check this list in Liverpool, he's the one with the least effect on the squad between those four guys, I think.
Yeah, even less than Keita, which also been struggling for playing time in that midfield this season.
Yeah,
but I think Keita has still something special to bring. So, yeah.
Even if Barcelona in this case will be having some problems without their Suarez there, if he is not there, I think they could still replace him. Barcelona, in my opinion, excuse me if you like those other players, Barcelona is the Messi show after all.
In a way, yeah. But also, like Dembele, yeah, it's a pain that they missed him, but he could have played last game and they didn't. Oh, actually, they brought him on. Sorry, I forgot about that shortly. But yeah, they did bring him on towards the end of the game, but they can definitely deal without him.
Yeah.
Suarez, it would be kind of sad, but I guess think about it beforehand. I was just maybe drop Messi to a false nine and maybe bring Malcolm out on the right or something like that. Maybe there's some players I'm forgetting about that would actually play above Malcolm, but yeah, that doesn't make me any less scared of their front line, to be fair, if Malcolm has to come in, even though Suarez is a better player. So, yeah.
Yeah, like, I think
not
Barcelona
looking
is
good
the
for
one who
him.
got away cheaper compared.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
if we move on to the Ajax against Tottenham match,
Yes.
let's start with the injuries there, and I'm starting with that. That no really huge players are gone in Ajax. I'm counting on Tadic to play, even if they're claiming a stomach problem there. He is still playing a lot.
Yeah.
So apparently he could have a problem, but it's not keeping him off the pitch.
Yeah, it's kind of we're using several different places where we found this information about injuries, about suspensions. Some of them claim that Tadic has a stomach problem, and he's had that since the early rounds in the Champions League. Some say he doesn't, but at the same time he's playing all the time. So yeah, we're kind of counting him right now to play, even though it's said that he still has stomach problems.
Yeah, so I guess it's problems that he could still play with.
Yeah, if there's any problems at all, maybe that side is just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so we only
not refreshed as often as he should.
Yeah, we only have 2 guys on the injury list, and to count, I don't know if to count them as major losses or not in that way. 2 youngsters, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they're more youngsters, both of them.
Yeah. So we have
to make you the 20 guys that we're talking about, yeah.
And exactly. Eating gone. Sorry for the pronunciation on the last one, really. They're gone. They're gone. They're gone. Bande with an ankle injury and Eating with a knee injury, and they are known time, but still, I think they could replace those guys.
Oh yeah. They've been on a long time.
Yeah.
I looked up some more dates about when they were injured, and they both missed at least 20 plus games, 30 plus games, maybe even both of them. So I mean, they have not been back for a long time.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, moving on to Tottenham, which still has the problem with injuries. We have Serge Aurier with the hamstring, who's in conflicting reports. Some say that it's unknown when he'll be back. We can hear some that he's been going to be ready for the last game of the Premier League season, which is the 12th of May. But yeah, so probably not for this game. Maybe for a Champions League final if they make it there, but yeah, not before that. Harry Kane still with ankle injury and still unknown time. We got Eric Lamela with a hamstring, also unknown. John Vertonghen with a head injury that he got in the first game against Ajax, unknown when he'll be back. Harry Winks with a groin injury, unknown. So they still have the most injuries out of all the teams left in the Champions League. And somehow they still making it work.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be a rough ride now.
Yeah. So moving on to predictions. What is your prediction for this game at the Johan Cruyff Arena?
Yeah, I'm predicting a 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah. Somehow Tottenham will be able to score, even if I know the fact that Tottenham is ridiculously bad on away soil, if my sources are correct. Like, they have been really bad. I don't know if it counted on all competitions, but I heard that in the league at least, like, they have been really bad. If you compare it to home. So yeah,
interesting.
with that 1-1 and a lot of injuries still. Who's gonna score for them? And they have just had a turbulent game also. I know that I'm not checking the league most of the time, but they had a really turbulent game Saturday this weekend. We're recording this on Sunday, but they had a turbulent match yesterday. I hope they can get their head on the right place, but I'm not counting on it. So I guess injuries plus a lot of turbulent things. I think they're going out now. What do you think about it?
Yeah. My prediction is actually a 2-1 win for Tottenham. And I think Son will score both goals. Because he seems to just step up whenever Tottenham needs him. He was away last game, and they could really felt that they didn't have that goal scorer, that creativity up top. They had Lucas Moura with the pace, they had Llorente with the strength, but none of them couldn't really create anything. Nothing of major interest. So having Son back, I think that's going to turn the tide in Tottenham's favour. And Ajax is a weird team. They've been better away from home than they have been at home this Champions League season. Which is a weird thing to say. Normally you would say it's the other way around, but yeah. They have been better away from home, so.
Yeah, so we have two, like in that match, we have two different teams that we think will move on to the final of the Champions League.
Yeah.
That's going to be...
In like, one part of me, right after, like, later in the year that they announced Barcelona and Ajax jumping into a work relationship kind of thing, Ajax youngsters or Ajax players getting a loan deal, whatever, something like that. They were going to work more closely together, these two big clubs, and it would be so awesome if they met in the Champions League final later that very season. But judge about that 1-0 only at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, I don't think it's enough. Sadly, don't think it's enough. I would love Ajax to once again prove me wrong.
Yeah, I would love Ajax to win the whole thing.
That would be truly amazing.
Yeah.
But sadly, yeah, I don't see it happening.
Yeah,
not this time.
I see it happening 1-1, and I think Son will score Tottenham's goal. No question about that.
Yeah.
But I think Tottenham's goal will come really late, and like Ajax will do the first one, like they've done in a lot of games, and then Tottenham will score their goal late in the match, but it won't be enough, in my opinion. Because I think Ajax will be like defending a little in the end, at least. Because sooner or later, reality will catch up on them. This is a final place after all.
Yeah, but I don't think, like, yes, I believe that Tottenham is going to win, but at the same time, I don't think that the Ajax players, all of them, they don't think that this is some kind of fairy tale. This is like, they believe like they are good enough to do this as a team right now. They are good enough to beat all these juggernauts around Europe. And
I have to say about that cooperation, also a cooperation that they're doing with Barcelona. In one way, it's really good for Ajax, but in another way, it could be devastating.
In a way, yeah.
Because, like, the chance of Ajax coming this far again, then, in my opinion, is lowering. If you get closer to Barcelona, because Barcelona will pick up all these players.
Yeah, but at the same time, maybe then you get some Barcelona youngsters on loan to Ajax.
Yeah, could happen.
Maybe that's also part of the deal.
But what are they doing with the second team in Barcelona? That's a big thing then. They have a second team.
Yeah.
Are they having like
I don't know.
3 Barcelona teams in a way? I'm worried about that situation when Ajax becomes a Barcelona B or C.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Well, definitely be B. They're better than Barcelona B.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like I want to avoid that situation because Ajax, even if I'm not going to tell you, and I hope you won't sell me out there, when it comes to football in Ajax country, I'm not an Ajax supporter, but I still respect and hold the club really high. That's why I'm in a way against this. Like I'm afraid that this will, on some levels, like they're getting connected to the other club too far. I hope it stays like youngsters, like a few things back and forward. I'm afraid that they will get too connected to the other club.
Yeah, true. They are way too big club to become a true like Barcelona B.
Yeah.
Like if you look on Champions League, I even think they're like. It's not like actually, I should have looked up this information beforehand, the statistic. But in a way, Ajax is almost as big as a European super club as Barcelona is. Almost, when
If
you
you
look at
count like,
like Europe
yeah,
League, like Champions League titles and
yeah.
the Cup Cup or whatever it was called before the Champions League was invented.
Yeah, this might be one of the weirdest comparisons in human history, and I'm even changing sports to do the comparison here in one way. But I hope you're following this comparison. I'm counting Ajax as high when you come to classic clubs as the original. Was it 6 in NHL? If you get
Yeah,
my
there are
point.
6 starting clubs, definitely.
Like in a classic sense, like classic teams. I'm counting them in that big in a classic way. Like they have their history, they have everything. Like it's a really classic and really big club if you check on the trademark and the worth in that matter. Maybe they don't have the same economy as some of these big clubs, but like brand. Ajax is a really classic brand in that way. They're a really big brand in my opinion.
Yeah, that they are.
Yeah, that's why I'm afraid of that.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah,
but I think the Ajax board knows what they're doing.
I hope.
I choose to believe that they know what they're doing.
I choose to believe that too.
That
until
they have
something else happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gonna have a good relationship with Barcelona.
Yeah, like they are like a brand size. Like if you count it like classic team, they are bigger than a lot of Premier League clubs. In that manner, I think our older listeners, if there are any like that, would agree with us there.
Yeah.
If you look at Ajax glory days, that club has been doing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the best for that club, and yeah, we have some other really big teams up here. So it's a really interesting way that Ajax is up here with those other 3 teams. If someone would have told me that before the Champions League season, I would have laughed at them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, are you crazy?
Yeah, it's like they're good, but they're not going to make the top 4.
They're like a really big classic team, big brand and everything, but like that league is not as big as the leagues the other teams are coming from. They're not used to face that opposition in that manner anymore, not in the same way. Football has changed since last time Ajax was really big. Like going along every year and all that stuff. Football has changed since then. We have even had the Swedish team doing that a long time ago. But now we're like nothing in that matter. But Ajax is still going strong apparently. So good work there. I have to say that.
Yeah, so rounding off that little political talk, I guess. Barcelona and Ajax work together.
Yeah.
But yeah, to finish it off, so we both believe Barcelona will go through, and you think that Ajax will go through. I think Tottenham will go through.
Yeah. And it will be tough as something in one way if Barcelona actually, if this is correct, our predictions, Barcelona would go through with 5-0.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which is just rude to a club like Liverpool.
Yeah,
but
like if Liverpool would have all their players, it would have been like what they deserved game-wise in the first match, this wouldn't happen.
No, then it would be 2-1. They would have an away goal, and they could really give Barcelona a run for the money in the second leg.
No offense to Barcelona. That's a big club, good players also, so no offense there in any of the matters.
Yeah.
Even that Ajax cooperation or this match. No offense there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is weird. And if you compare like... but I still have to go with the fact that if I'm checking every match the team has had this far, Ajax is the team that has gotten the toughest way here.
Yes.
They have faced the biggest teams.
Yeah.
And they have done an amazing job, so yeah. Even if they go out of this, still really impressive.
Yeah, as I might have mentioned before, I don't know if it was on here or just in our talking outside of the recording, but I already see this year's what Ajax has done this year. I say it's valued almost as much as their win in '95 and their final appearance in '96.
I have to agree. If I'm counting,
like you said, it was a different kind of football then. It's way harder now for a smaller team to go this far in the tournament because there's so much more money now in the big leagues than there were back then, and all the new rulings. Yeah.
And I'm gonna, if I do another comparison, saying there, no offense to the other club I'm mentioning now, I think this is bigger in one way than what Leicester City did in Premier League some years ago.
Well, it's
a bigger difference, in my opinion.
Yeah, but that is a different thing to compare because in the same time, I actually done it in a few games.
Yeah,
they managed to get correct on 1 or 2 days here and there. Leicester did it over the entire season.
Yeah. It's a different thing, but it's a bigger...
Which makes it difficult to compare. But I understand what your sentiment is. I understand what you want to say with it.
Disadvantage, in my opinion, than Leicester City was winning the league.
Yeah.
Even if that was a really big thing, like Leicester City, I think 10 rounds to go in the Premier League, they were out of the league almost surely when they won the gold.
Yeah, the year before.
Yeah, then they just steamrolled everything. And I actually know a guy, I don't talk to him anymore, I actually knew a guy then that started betting on Leicester City the year before the goal. And that guy cashed out some serious money.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is two really big things. Like that would have been like if, let's say, a team in Spain, like a middle team. What do we have there?
Oh, that's a good question. Deportivo La Coruña, maybe, although there might be more a bottom team nowadays.
Yeah, like one of those.
Valencia.
Teams, Celta Vigo we have also. Are they still? We have those.
Yeah, the middle to bottom, I guess. I think
if they won the league for some reason in 1 year, or like if let's take a German, also a middle team there.
Werder Bremen.
Yeah, let's go with Werder Bremen. They just went out of nowhere and won the league. And Italy, like
Fiorentina.
Yeah. Like, what if that would happen in the same year?
That would be insane.
Yeah, but still, this is what I watch football for. I don't like when the big teams just win and win and win and win and win. This is the fun part. Even if I'm not a supporter for them, this is the fun part.
Yeah, I'm a supporter of football, not a certain club.
Yeah, I support some clubs, but I will keep quiet of that here. Still. but still here, I love it when it happens. Like these small clubs do this big thing. So in that way, I hope to win the whole thing.
I agree.
And like I said, I'm not even supporting them in their country, sadly enough. But still, I want them to win this. But yeah, that was, I think, if you have nothing more to say, Daniel?
No, I'm feeling good.
Yeah. So that was it for this time. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Popecast Sports, even if it was a little bit rambling in the end about different things. But
yeah, that tends to happen, sadly.
Yeah, well, it's funny in a way. I think it should continue like that. It's, what do you say? Authentic. So yeah,
I guess so. Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed listening to this, and I hope you will be back for the next time when we discuss what happened in the second semi-final between the teams. And then we will know what finalists there will be. And we will discuss what we think will happen in the final of the UEFA Champions League 2019. So thanks for us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.